Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining for today's tutorial. I'm Alice and I'm going to be breaking down the Surya Namaskars, also known as Sun Salutations, both A and B variations. Now today's video is like 2 in 1. For the first half, I'm going to spend it breaking down all the movements in the sequence and going through the breath, really good for those of you that might be new to the practice. For the second half, I'm going to blast through 3 rounds of each A and B to get the blood pumping, the heart racing, and great for anyone who's only got about 10 minutes to move their body today. If that's for you, then skip to about halfway through this video. But if you're here for the breakdown, stay with me. Enjoy. So let's break it down. Surya Namaskar translates to Sun Salutation. Now we have an A variation and a B variation of this. And it's a pretty traditional sequence, a very traditional sequence in the Ashtanga style of yoga, where we really are saluting the sun or warming up the body. It can be at the beginning of the day, the middle, or the end, but it is a slightly heated practice. Get your blood going, get the heart pumping, get the breath going a little bit. So I'm going to break down each of the movements, as so often we're thrown into a class, maybe we're new at this and we don't know what is going on. So let's break it down. Surya Namaskar A. We're going to start at the top of the mat, feet together or maybe slightly open. It really does depend on how you feel in your body. So whatever works best for you. I like to start with the hands together for a moment, just to bring the palms into prayer in front of the chest. Maybe close the eyes, spread the toes, give them a little wiggle. And notice how the body is in space right now. Maybe you're rolling the shoulders forward, roll them back, squeeze the glutes slightly, zip up the front of the thighs so that we're not sort of just collapsing into all of our joints. We're lifting out and away from them. And then you can bring your arms down by your side in a traditional mountain pose known as Tadasana. Palms open, collarbones broad, drop the shoulders down away from the ears as we stand up. And then I want you to inhale, reach the arms up over the head, bring your palms to touch. This is known as Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, you're going to keep the hands together and hinge forward. So hinge from the hips. And then bring your hands either down straight to the floor or maybe onto your shins into Uttanasana, known as forward fold. Our next inhale, we take it forward into Ardha Uttanasana, which is a halfway forward fold. Pull the crown of the head forward. It's one of my favorite postures, if I'm honest. And then exhale, relax the belly onto your thighs. Relax the weight of the head down. Plant the hands to the floor and step your feet back behind you into high plank. Squeeze the legs together. I like to take an extra breath here every now and again if I'm going a bit slower. And then exhale, first of all, drop the knees to the floor. We're going to take our chaturanga, hug the elbows in towards the ribs as we go down, like one big plank of wood. And then inhale, we come into Cobra, Bhujangasana, little snake pose. Point the toes, press the feet into the ground and squeeze your bum. Exhale, forehead back down. Tuck the toes, we take it into our downward facing dog, shine the tailbone up towards the sky, drop the head through the arms, and we traditionally take about between 3 to 5 breaths here. In this time, I like to move my heels a little bit. I like to give my hips a little bit of a wiggle and really feel into the posture itself. Staying with your breath, which I'll talk about in a moment. Spread your fingers out wide, push the ground away. And as the arms are now over the head and on the floor, that sensation of pushing will start to lift the shoulders a little bit closer towards the ears, and that's anatomically completely normal to bring the shoulders up towards the ears when they're over the head. On your next breath, inhale, rise up onto your tiptoes, look forward, bend the knees, step your feet towards the hands. Maybe it takes a few steps to get there. Once you are there, either rise up onto your fingertips or slide the hands onto the shins and pull the crown of the head forward, back into Ardha Uttanasana, halfway forward fold. Exhale, soften the belly, soften the knees, full forward fold here. Then inhale, reach the arms up over the head, back up into Tadasana. Exhale, arms down by your sides. And rest here. So let's bring ourselves back down onto the floor. Check in with how you feel. Usually you'd repeat that again for about 3 or 5 rounds. So you can see how it can get a little bit heated. Now, one of the main things I want us to remember in this sequence is the breath. So every single movement has a breath that goes with it, whether it be an inhale, and then it takes it into an exhale. And if you follow the rhythm of your breath, it is so much easier to kind of stay on your track. As soon as the breath starts to kind of rush, or the movement is rushing before the breath, then we can get ourselves into a little bit of a pickle. I'm going to go into Sun Salutation B variation, and we'll really notice the rhythm of the breath here. So bring yourself back to the top of the mat. Again, feet together or maybe slightly apart, up to you. We're going to come into a position called Utkatasana, not to be mistaken with Uttanasana. So we bend our knees. Utkatasana is a chair pose. You sit your bum back, weight into the heels, and scoop the arms down to then bring them up. This is a fantastic move for your lats, these big muscles down your back. As you bring the arms in line with the ears, drop the chin down, pull your lower ribs in. It's a pretty strong place to be. Good thing we're only here for one inhale. So breathe in, you're into chair. Exhale, Uttanasana, belly towards your thighs, hands towards the floor or your shins. Inhale, hands up, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway forward fold. It's almost like your back becomes a tabletop. Exhale, relax, hands towards the floor, bend the knees. Step your feet back behind you, squeeze the legs together, push the floor away. I take that extra breath here. Exhale, Chaturanga. Now, Chaturangas always happen on the exhale. It really helps. Inhale, slide onto the tops of the feet. Inhale, upward facing dog, squeeze the bum. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back, downward facing dog. With B variation, we go into some warrior ones. You're going to step the right foot through between your hands, and you're going to step the back foot completely down. So the left foot actually steps slightly over to the left to get the heel bone to the floor. When you breathe in, you bring the arms up over the head. Your front knee is going to stay bent, and the hips are shining towards the front of the room. As soon as you get to the top there, it's time to come back down. We're matching the breath. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor. Step the right foot behind you. Find your high plank again. Breathe in. Exhale, Chaturanga. Hug the elbows in. We're resisting the ground. Inhale, lift up into Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Step the left foot through between your hands. Ground the back heel down. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head. Breathe in. Exhale, frame the front foot as you go forward. Step your left foot back. Squeeze the legs together. Exhale, Chaturanga. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back. Downward facing dog. And you take your 3 to 5 breaths here. Once you're on your final breath, you inhale, rise up to your tiptoes, look forward, bend the knees, step or hop your feet towards the hands. Inhale up, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, relax here. Back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend your knees, weight into the heels. Inhale, scoop the arms up in line with the ears. And then exhale to standing Tadasana. Straighten up the legs and bring the arms by your sides. And we'll sit back down, have a little chat. Right, so that was B variation. One other thing I want to talk about is Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi breath is a traditional breathing technique where we breathe from the back of the throat. So we close the mouth, and essentially we are breathing through the nose, but it's not a sniff. It's more of a roar. It's quite tricky to explain, and it can take a bit of time to really nail. But as you close the mouth, you're breathing further from the back of the throat. So it's a big. And if you're in a room full of people, in a yoga studio, it's like a choir. It's pretty amazing. Now, this technique is used to heat the body. So we close the mouth, we kind of contain this all in. It's about you not throwing away too much energy. However, I do quite like to release every now and again if I find that I'm getting a bit too hot or it's getting a little bit too intense. But we all figure out what's best for us in our practice over time. So Ujjayi breath is something that you can start to develop, and it's nice and it's good to practice in Sun Salutations because every movement has a really clear and specific breath. And the more acquainted that you get with these postures and with this sequence, the more you kind of can then play around with jumping the feet back and then landing in a chaturanga, rolling over the toes. These little details do come with time and practice, but it's nice to just know where you're going from A to B. Now, I'm gonna, in the next section, run through 3 rounds of Sun Salutation A's, followed straight by 3 rounds of Sun Salutation B. Have fun. It's time to get nice and sweaty. Start at the top of the mat with your feet close together. Hands in front of your heart in prayer. Close the eyes, take a moment, roll the shoulders back as you breathe in. Reach the arms up over the head, gaze up towards the thumbs. Exhale, you're going to hinge from your hips to take your forward fold. As you bring it down, take your hands onto your shin bones or maybe all the way to the ground. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Pull the crown of your head forward, little bend in the knees. Exhale, take your hands down, step your feet back behind you, squeeze the legs together. We're going to do an extra breath here. Inhale, push the ground away. Exhale, chaturanga. You can lower the knees, hug the elbows in. Inhale into cobra, point the toes, press the feet into the ground, lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog, drop the head through the arms. Claw the fingers into the floor, and you can gently pedal out the heels one at a time as we take our 5 breaths from here. Inhale, close the mouth. Exhale from here. And again, breathe in for 2. Exhale, and it's a good time that you have here with your breath to dissect your body a little bit so you can pull the lower ribs in, work it out, how you're feeling, little bend in the knees to tilt the tailbone up, push the ground away, and as you push away, the shoulders will rise a bit closer up towards the ears. Take 1 more breath in where you are. Exhale where you are. Rise up onto your tiptoes, look forward towards your hands, step your feet towards your hands. Inhale into Ardha Uttanasana, hands up to the shins or rise right up to the fingertips, pull the crown of your head forward. Exhale, full Uttanasana, forward fold, belly towards your thighs, look to the shins. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head, palms touch, and then exhale, bring your arms down by your sides, Tadasana. And again, straight away, inhale, reach the arms up over the head, palms touch, gaze towards the thumbs. Exhale, hinge forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step your feet back behind you, squeeze the legs together. Again, we'll go for that extra breath, breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. You can have your knees on or off the floor, it's up to you. Inhale now into upward facing dog. Point the toes, squeeze your bum, lift the shins off the floor. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Again, 5 breaths. And you can play around with how wide you want to take your feet here. Push the ground away. Find that length down your spine. Couple more breaths where you are. Maybe working it into that Ujjayi breath I explained before, breathing from the back of the throat, roaring out from it too. 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Rise up onto your tiptoes, gaze forward, bend the knees, step your feet towards the hands. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway, pull out through the crown of your head. Exhale, full forward fold. Breathe in, reach the arms up over the head, once again into mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, hands down by your sides. Final time with Sun Salutation A's. Inhale, take it all the way up, gaze towards the thumbs. Exhale, forward into forward fold. Inhale up, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands down. Now you can step back or we begin to jump back. If you're going to jump back, you bend your elbows and land in chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Don't feel like you have to rush jumping back into anything. You can just keep it going with stepping back, finding the postures until you feel a little bit more confident or like you want to add a bit more fire perhaps into the practice. And this is, remember, warming up.
sequence, heating up the body naturally, saluting the sun. Take a big breath in, rise up onto your tiptoes, gaze forward, bend the knees, step, or you can hop the feet forward towards the hands if you wish. Inhale up, halfway lift, matching the breath with the movement. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head. Exhale, bring your arms down by your sides, Tadasana. Take a moment here. Big breath in, turn the palms forward. Big breath out. We're going to work our way into Sun Salutation B variation. We'll go straight into Utkatasana. Bend your knees, scoop the arms up, sit the weight back into the heels, reach the arms up in line with the ears. Exhale, forward fold, belly to thighs. Inhale up, Ardha Uttanasana, still a soft bend in the knees. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back. High plank to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Straight away, step the right foot through between your hands. Ground the back heel down and step it over to the left slightly. Bring the arms up over the head. Keep the front knee bent, palms touch. Warrior one. Exhale, frame the front foot, step the right leg back into high plank, squeeze the legs together, Chaturanga. Remember, you can always lower the knees. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog, left side, left foot forward, breathe in. Step the right heel down, scoop the arms up over the head. Your hands don't have to touch. Exhale, slowly take it forward. Step the left foot back, high plank, Chaturanga on that same exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back. Downward facing dog. Relax the weight of the head. Give it a little wiggle or a nod. Couple more breaths where you are. Push the ground away. And we're constantly pushing here. Breathing into the belly, into the back of the body. Inhale, rise up onto your tiptoes, gaze forward, bend the knees, step or hop your feet towards the hands. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Utkatasana, bend the knees, scoop the arms up. Exhale, Tadasana, bring the hands down by your side, straighten up the legs. Inhale. And again, exhale. Bend the knees, scoop the arms up, breathe in, Utkatasana chair. Exhale, forward fold, weight back into the heels, spread the toes wide. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop it back. Chaturanga, hug the elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog, step the right foot forward. Ground the back heel down. Keep the front knee bent. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head. Breathe in. As soon as you're there, exhale, time to come down. Frame the front foot, step it back into high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, press back, down dog. Left side, left foot forward. Inhale, bring the arms up over the head. Breathe in. Again, as soon as you get there, exhale, we take it down. Step the left foot back, squeeze the legs together, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Clawing down the fingertips, pushing the floor away. Again, using this time to go through the body a little bit more, work through it, check in with yourself. Find that steadiness of your breath as the breath sped up. Maybe come back into Ujjayi if you're working with it. Inhale, rise up onto your tiptoes, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop your feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, full. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend your knees, scoop the arms up, find your chair pose, weight back into the heels, pull the lower ribs back slightly, then stand up into Tadasana. We're going to go for that final round of bees. Utkatasana chair, bend the knees, scoop the arms up, breathe in, try and get the arms in line with the ears before you bring them down. Exhale all the way down. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop it back, high plank to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward. You want to find that seamlessness. Ground the left heel down. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head. From one move leads into another. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step your front foot back. High plank. Squeeze the legs together. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Clench the glutes slightly. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Final time to the left. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, bring the arms up over the head. Breathe in. Exhale, take it down. Step the left foot back. Chaturanga. Remember to lower the knees whenever you need to. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Find that steadiness again. Final breath in. Final long breath out. Inhale, rise up onto your tiptoes, look forward. Step or hop your feet towards the hands. Inhale up, halfway lift, poke the tailbone back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, scoop the arms up, weight back in the heels, Utkatasana chair. Exhale, Tadasana, bring the arms down by your sides and hold this here. You can place the hands on your belly, your heart, maybe palms together. And take a closing breath, inhale and exhale. There we have it. Your 6 rounds of Surya Namaska A and B. Thank you so much for joining. If you have anything you want to ask, please write it in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Thank you.